So remember when we were discussing and we were talking about planning this?
Yeah.
There was a story you said about a butterfly.
Mm.
Tell us a little bit about it and what it has to be, what it has to do with being a leader.
Mm. Yeah, that was a powerful story. So I chanced on this video on YouTube some time ago, um, that a man came across or came into contact with this butterfly, and not the butterfly was a cocoon as of the point, so it had not gotten to the point where it can now fly. It was just a cocoon, and he watched it for hours as it struggled within this little, whether hole or shell or whatever you call it. Watched it for a couple of hours, left it, came back the following day, same thing. Came back the following week, the same thing. The butterfly was still struggling. The other week. So the man thinking he wants to help, because like this butterfly cocoon is struggling. Took a scissors or some type of knife, went in and cut the cocoon. And to his amazement, the butterfly cocoon could not fly. Like it was like such a tragic, unfolding to him. And the reason being, he did not know. The man in his attempt, in his haste to just trying to help, did not understand. Let me put it this way: the dynamics of life, the dynamics of developmental process. You have to know when to offer help and when not to offer help, because what a butterfly cocoon was doing is that it was releasing fluid from its body onto the wings, which would eventually help it to fly, to flap its wings. So it rather cut short that developmental process and ended up wounding this cocoon instead of giving life to it. So there is a place where you help people, and there's a place where you watch them go through it. When you watch kids, right, when they are growing up, when they're trying to stand, they will fall. So if you try to help them all the time, you're not helping them.
Exactly.
Because they have to try to stand and fall. They have to try to stand and fall. They have to try until one day they stand and they will not fall again.
If not, they're not going to keep trying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When a baby is in the mother's womb, when it's time for the baby to come out, like you will know, there will be signs, right? When the water breaks and everything, that no, it's time to get out. So there is a point in leadership where you hold people's hand, and there's a time you have to learn how to let go. To part ways with people.
Exactly.
Don't bring in any emotions here. It's just life. When the baby, and of course when the baby comes out, they cry, you would know the sound is different. So these are different dynamics and different ways of, that you need to know as a leader. Especially one, you need to understand life, and then you need to understand your craft and what you are doing, and just you as a leader knowing exactly, like I said, when to offer help and when not to offer help. There was another story I heard when I was doing international business. A great leader went to somewhere in the Philippines or so and saw this child and thought it was like child abuse. Why are you letting this child, just about 15 years or so, work and do so much here, just working all day long? And so he let the child go. It's like, no, you can't do this. In America, you need to be 18 years, or you need to do what you need to do whatever before you start, like you can officially or legally work. Now this child goes, she was the only one feeding, I think, 2 other boys or siblings in the house. And this girl ended up going into prostitution and ended up dying.
Wow. So
in this man's, he had good intent that this is a child. You can't put this child under this stress.
That's right.
But she was making money to go feed.
That's right.
And now she's dead. So there could be some intricacies to leadership, right? So don't just rush into things. Don't just rush to offer help. Sometimes you need to be able to gather as much information as possible before you make that, And that is why sometimes people say that leadership is innate, is within you, because some people who demonstrate this God-given special abilities, but of course you can learn as well.
Okay.
You know, all of these things you can learn.
Okay. Okay.
So it's nothing, really.